Hey everybody, welcome back to Hex Token channel. Woohoo! Rock on! Second live stream, Pulsechain, Pulsex, and Hex twice a day. Loving it, of course. Your host, Superman, in the house. Let's see who's in there. We got James Bond. Oh yeah, let's go. Oh yeah, pump it, pump it, pump it. I like it. Greetings, Superman from James Bond. Good to see you in the house there. Get into the chat, say hello. Now we've got a cool poll. So let's have a look at what our video is. Of course, for today, our topic is the future of Hex crypto in a world of volatility. So obviously everyone's aware of that. We can see it in the markets. And of course, we see it globally as well. Things are shifting and we are taking note of that as we go through this process. The future of crypto, Hex crypto in a world of volatility. Let's have a look. We have a little quick discussion about what that might mean. And of course, we've got a poll up around that. Of course, getting good financial management in a world of volatility, particularly in a bear market as well. We've got, besides Hex, what other hedge options? So in other words, ways of protecting your portfolio value. Options do you have or having or will get, whatever, either you've got it or you will get it. I just realized I got the word having in there. It means do you have is what I meant to say there, or will get in your financial portfolio. Pulsechain, Pulsex. Now we're going to explore what all that means. Gold and silver, and of course US crypto stables, so US dollars, crypto stables, financial shorts or other. So other can be maybe commodities that hold up better in deteriorating markets. We'll have to talk about that as well. Shorts, of course, is if the market's going down, you make money on the markets going down. Typically, some of those are leveraged ones. Sometimes maybe 3x leverage, so you have a certain percentage of your portfolio in that. So if the market goes against you, you keep your portfolio at the similar valuation. So we've got a few of those options too. Hex Force 1 has landed. Good evening, Hex Token and family. Woo-hoo! Good to see you as well. Hopefully we'll get a few more people in the chat there. Now we're trying to head up towards 4,800 subscribers. We were at 4,799. We've actually gone back to 4,797. So maybe there's a few dud accounts or something like that. I don't know what's happening there, but we're going to keep aiming for that 4,800. This is the way we go. Trying to head up towards 5,000, of course, and then that magical number 5555. So it's going to be cool. Go positive in the house there. Hey, happy weekend, everybody. Definitely happy weekend to everybody. Here we are. We're on TradingView at the moment, and we're not going to go for the 3-day trial, but we've got TradingView at the moment. This is what happened to Bitcoin in the last half a day here. Look at this crazy stuff. In fact, not just half a day, a quarter of a day. What are we getting? We get some pretty weird price action there on the hourly. Some pretty crazy stuff. Look at that. We were down here earlier. Was it yesterday? Actually, we were down here. So this has it's not Kiwi time. Not sure what time frame. It's like UTC time. This is UTC time. That makes it easy. UTC time. And of course, currently, what's it? 5:30 in the morning UTC. That's crazy stuff. You know what time it is here now? 5:34 p.m. in the afternoon on Friday the 1st. It's almost dinner time on Friday. And here is UTC time. A lot of people haven't even woken up that time. And it's 5:30 there, unless you're a farmer or going to work in a factory or something like that. There we are. So we had the price down of Bitcoin all the way down to $18,603. Testing that. Remember, we went down to 17,500, that last big drop. And of course, that was about, I think, was it a 12,500 drop? I think something like that. And then, of course, look what happened here. Boom, up the top here. And we went up to $20,879. Look how quickly things can change in that period of time. Is that insane or what? That's what is that? $2,000, just over $2,000, $2,200. That's a pretty insane move. That's welcome to crypto, man. I actually got my ruler here. I should just use the ruler rather than me try to estimate it. Yeah, some pretty insane stuff there. 12.2% in 4 hours. Wow. And then, of course, I pull back on that. I pull back down to 1938, 19,400 there, almost back to where we were. So some interesting stuff there. We get back down 7% from there. Some pretty crazy stuff. So $1,500 down. So still up net 700. So seems to be not too bad there on Bitcoin. Let's have a look at the daily on there. Let's have a look at the daily. We're going to auto tune that. Nice. And I love the auto tune. We've got that coming in at the moment. So we expected the zigzag here. up until the middle of July, if you recall, because we have another Fed meeting in mid-July expected. So let's see how we get on. We've got still just hit over the month, of course, the end of June, just beginning July here. We'll see how we get on, but we expected the zigzag. We thought that was a reasonable call, just like we zigzagged here. We zigzagged further up as well, up here at the 40. We're at 40 here, so we're zigzagging. We dropped dramatically, 40,500 there, zigzagged along, then dropped, what, about 12,500, I think it was, down here. And away we are, zigzagging along here. Will we make that final drop down into Richard Hart's 11? I actually think that if it gets down this low, and things are really negative, we could actually get to 9.5. It's kind of where I've got mine, my price there. But hey, you just never know. Nothing's inevitable. Maybe we just get to 14 or something like that. Just nothing is inevitable there. All right, so that's where we're at the moment. Of course, this is the orange line. There's a 50-day moving average. The purple line there is the 100-day, and the green line there's a 200-day moving average. And of course, we had our death cross in the chart here, where the 50-day moved under the 200-day. Back on 14th of January, and I guess that was an early signal of things to come there. So cool, that's where we're at the stage, 19,370. Of course, Hex got the benefit from that. Woohoo! Hex did get the benefit. James Bond says, try leaving your country's airport with $100 million of gold bars. I memorized seed word as far easy as this, James, it's true. Bitcoin is yet to prove itself, though, under all these conditions, and it is still, in my view, a speculative asset, but maybe over time it will become more firm. At the moment, still holding up at 19,400. Let's see where this goes. Can it actually show that it's got a bit of steel? Obviously, people risk off back to Hart's Law, risking back into US dollars, and the same thing is true for Hex, right? Hex is related to US dollars. Can it beat that out? Well, we're going to talk a lot about that. That topic is what we're going to be talking about amongst other things there. Kate Figueroa House there, good morning all, good to see you. Big heart as well. Kate, James, hey James, good to see you. Hex market makes me happy. I like Hex, says DB Cooper. And happy Canadian Day today. Hey, is it Canadian Day? It is too. I think I saw Polyev in there on the Freedom March there. Big shout out to the Freedom March there in Canada. Hopefully you'll get rid of Trudeau at one stage. That guy is an authoritarian and all I've ever seen one. Kate Fergus in house there. Hit the likes, people, please. Definitely hit the likes there. Nice. All right. Happy Canada Day, as we say. I've actually been to a Canada Day. That's what I forgot. I've actually been to a Canada Day, I went out to, where was it? Not far from Toronto, actually. Maybe about an hour or so north of Toronto, up in Green Hills there. Had a big, like, what was it? It was like a community place, like a picnic place, but it was full of little, heaps of stuff was going on there, like a little baby fair. It was very fun, and I think we had a lot of lanterns up in the trees and bushes and stuff. It was pretty fun, actually, and I did enjoy that. Cool. So happy Canada Day. Oi says the mango junkie. Absolutely, come in a slavery, says DB. Yeah, it seems that way more than ever. At least we used to have, even if there were problems, it used to be at least neutral, and freedom was a foundation principle. Now it is definitely a question. They are coming for us. They're trying to impose a one world view on everybody, and too many people are falling for it because they don't have discernment or critique there about what actually is playing out. It's too easy just to get on with life and not have to care. But they'll care later on. That's for sure when it's too late. DB in the house there, Toronto. Cool. Yeah, Toronto. Yeah, that's where I was at. So it was pretty interesting. I went to Niagara Falls there too, which is awesome. As you know, Superman has been to Niagara Falls. Do you like that one? I love how I twisted that in. All right, so cool. Let's have a look at Hex. Hex actually got a bounce too. So there's Hex on the green candle. Our trend reversal at EMA 13-day close, the exponential moving average weights the current prices ahead is currently at 4.05 cents versus the 50% Bollinger Band mark of 3.8 cents. So still signaling a trend reversal there. This is a very elongated one, but let's have a look back at these other ones that we had. This one was very short. We had only one red candle after the crossing, and then we got a big rise up. So a very fast one here. This one here was quite long too. We crossed early, and it still took 4 down days there before we got a move up there. So does that look more similar to this? This looks more similar to this, but this is more severe, although market conditions are more volatile than they were, I would guess, back here, the 28th there. So what else we got going? So, yep, we're just waiting for that to play out. Obviously, we had pretty strong price action back here as well. So I guess this one here is the best example there. And we've got one further back as well, but we'll jump through that. Our Bollinger Bands are tightening up, though, so there's less price range. And, of course, you can see we've been in this price range channel here for a little while in this box here. So we've got Bollinger Bands tightening up. In other words, the price range is getting smaller. And typically this chart's telling us a break to the upside. So we'll see if that happens. We've got a volatile period, which is what we're going to talk about. Yay! All right, so cool. Let's get into it. We're going to talk about a couple of those things. DB says hit the like button. Definitely smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button too. We've got the poll up as well. Besides Hex, what other hedge options do you have? Will get in your financial portfolio? Because we're not going to be avoiding the volatility. Volatility is pretty much guaranteed coming up this year. It may last as long as 2 years, which is an extended, if you extend a period. Typically, recessions are typically like 18 months. And of course, this could last longer than that, up to 2 years. Now, that's presumably we're not fully confirmed heading into recession, but with the last quarter and the GDP of US, definitely annualized hit that way. Now, remember, a recession is 2 quarters. So that's basically 6 months. So 2 quarters of declining real GDP there. So we'll just keep watching that. So we had a little taste of that. But we may manage to skim out of it, but I doubt it at this stage. So that's kind of my feeling now. Anyway, so we've got a couple of ways of how do you manage volatility. That's where prices go up and down, of course, in a bear market where the prices decline over time as well. So your average is declining. Lal says should have an all option on the poll. Yeah, unfortunately, Lal, I don't have enough options. We only have 4 options on the poll there, and I wanted to delineate. I can't even say the word. You know me, my words. So yeah, we've got those 4 separate options there. I've got the word other in there. So Pulsechain, Pulsex, obviously you can choose one of those. But besides Hex, what other hedge options do you have in your financial portfolio? So we've got Pulsechain, Pulsex. So when we say besides Hex, so Hex, we obviously have, if you have T-shares, you have them staked, you are earning Hex offset with that. So you're getting an offset with the Hex payout per T-share. We know it's pretty much about 6.12 or something like that per day per T-share. So you're getting a volume offset, right? Everyone that's liquid, they're exposed not only to the inflation of Hex, where they get diluted over time, but they're also not getting offset for any price decrease, right? Whereas you are getting a price offset despite the price. So the price can be quite dramatic, as we've already seen in the retrace. We've had up to 94.5% so far, 2.8 cents. So it's from the top of 51.7. So you can get that, but you're getting an offset if you've got Hex stakes, right? So you just have to wait through the price cycle for the price to go up. The other thing, of course, you still want supply and demand to be growing, so you still want to spread the word, you still want to get adoption in Hex over time, and of course you also want to make sure that liquidity pools are fairly sized as well. You don't want to get them too low as well. DB says Hex is the GOAT. That's so true. So we've got Hex obviously with the volume, with the Hex offset per T-share. So that's why you can do it. You can have staking. Now, obviously, Hex is paired in liquidity pools primarily with the US dollars. So I think it's about 80%. In fact, let's go and check that while we're live here. We're going to look into crypto. Actually, we'll probably look into Hex. Sorry, look into crypto. Let's look at the look in Hex charts here. I think this has it. Have that one on here. Yeah, USD here, 80%. Yeah, so there we are, 80% there, the blue line there. That's Hex USD. And of course, we still have Hart's Law play out on that, right? So if there's a general risk off in the market, people sell off the stock market, they sell off crypto market back into stable coins or USDC, or USD, I should say. And we see that all the time. So we see that happening. And of course, when you're paired to it, that Hex is not immune, but that's subject to a few things. So we're going to talk about that. But generally speaking, that is the case at the moment. But I think over time, with some of the other things, offsets that we've got coming up, I think that's going to change, could potentially change there. Certainly going to help support the price over time. So let's talk about that in a second. So we got the Hex, we got the liquidity of Hex in USDC, Hart's law impacting that with the risk off and risk on. So risk off basically lowers the US dollar rate as people decide to sell down the Hex into this generally liquid people, of course. The people that are getting diluted and offset are actually helping others who are liquid also to get further exposure without the Hex offset of T-shares. And of course, they sell into US dollars. So how do you offset? So we've already talked about a lot of that in this channel on offsets, and we've talked about all these projects that are coming up that are going to be taking circulating supply out of the market. Now that plays out over time, so it's not an instant thing. And of course, we've talked about Hedge and HSI. We've talked about ICOSA there as well. We've talked about Maximus with Maxi Base and Team, particularly Maxi and Base there. We've also talked about Power City Flex. We've also got the Hex Investment Trust. They're trying to link into the fiat traditional markets, opening up institutional investments from like NASDAQ and things like that. So we've got all these things playing out, but they've got to play out. They're not all working here today. Some of them are, but we've still got a process to go through that. And of course, we're expecting a lot more stuff to happen on that front. We've also got obviously the highest of stakes, retail Volatility. We've got the massive conferences like Pulsechain and online conferences like Maddie Allen's Pulsechain one and all that sort of stuff, Hex conferences all playing out. We've got over 100 content creators, and of course we've got the community getting out there and spreading the word. We see growth as well coming in through the Hex daily stats. So we've got all that stuff playing out, but that's a multi-year period that's still going to dampen things in the future, assuming that all keeps going forward. Then you're going to see a better hedge from that point of view with the Hex product. So that's kind of besides Hex, and because that's how the context of how we see Hex there. In terms of other options, we've got Pulsechain and Pulsex coming up. But that only option only helps if you are basically. Let me just take it back to the Hex price there. That only basically helps if you have got Pulse. If you sacrifice a Pulse and Pulsex, and of course that's not live yet, right? So it's not real yet. That's in the future, but it's a future hedge that you've taken out already, and you're waiting for that to play out. So kind of like an option, a little bit like an option. But that's going to be realized when it actually launches. And if you've sacrificed a Pulse and Pulsex, then those markets are going to get valued up at some degree. Now, question mark over the price. Obviously, we're all fairly bullish on that. And so if you're holding Pulse and Pulsex, that could be a master play, right? So especially if we launch near the bottom of the market, obviously, you're going to still incur portfolio loss until that point. But of course, if that launches near the bottom and it starts rallying up after that, then it's a time value, and you'll get that back in the future. As opposed to if you didn't have that now, you wouldn't have it at all, right? And of course, if you entered in the future when Pulsechain launches, then you've got to pay the market price yourself. So you're kind of fulfilling the hedge the hedge cover that people have already sacrificed for. So that's kind of the way of looking at that. Now, also we've got so that's Pulsex and Pulsechain, and of course we've seen pretty bullish calls there from super whales like Overwatch and Rack and Rochelle. There with 10,050x from the all-time low within 2 years. So that's kind of the ballpark there. Those are also based on underlying models that they're using there. Of course, he won't give us all the details about that, but that's what's going on there. We've also then got gold and silver, and of course, what does Kiyosaki call this? Gold and silver. Now he's got a massive position in the second biggest gold miner in the world. And of course, what does he call this? I think he calls it God's mineral or something like that. So we've got gold and silver. Obviously, that doesn't perform too well if you're trying to get big speculative assets. But in terms of a hedge, particularly entering into not just volatility, but say a worst case scenario of a black swan event, that you can a lot of the capital, the fiats will default back to this. So another thing people call the US dollar is a petrodollar in the past. Because obviously around the petrol, it uses US dollars, although we have seen a little bit of a kink in that recently with the Saudi Arabia and the Chinese having a contract paying in the Chinese currency for payment. So a little bit of depegging from there, but nothing gets around the stability of the US dollar still at the moment. So I don't see that happening for a long time. So we've got that with the gold and silver, and of course that used to be the currencies used to be based on the gold standard, right? So, and I don't see much changing that, to be honest, in the future. But well said as before, you can't, for the average person, you can't easily move that stuff around, right? So you can't just pick up, a whole ton of gold and move it around. But for most people, that would be something to have as a percentage of your portfolio, maybe 2%, 5%, something in that, depending on what your valuation is there. So definitely a food for thought. Hey, John is in the house there. Good afternoon, Superman. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to everybody there too. So it's happy Friday here in good old Kiwi land. But big happy Friday for those that are entering at the moment. When Hyundai, says James Bond. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Man, Hyundai used to be a pretty crappy car, but of course now they've got pretty good four-wheel drives and things. Teaching my 8-year-old about yield and T-shares, her doing a staking ladder on her birthday year after year was awesome tonight. Oh, that's fantastic, StakeX. That is really, really cool. This is what we're talking about. We had Get Hex on here with 8 grandchildren. StakeX talking about that. We've had a lot more children coming, a whole generation of children getting into Hex, and that's what Hex is designed for. It is a multi-generational staking product, so that's fantastic, StakeX. Already had one, says James Bond. Sir Wen Moon at Pulse A, says DB. Oh, we're all waiting patiently there, DB. All waiting patiently. StakeX says the problem was she spent all the mama's dry powder to buy more Pulse at launch. That is hilarious. So sounds like your what do you say? Your 8-year-old is set up for the future big time. StakeX says got a $5 super sticker. Appreciate that, StakeX. Have to do the Superman bow down as always. Big shout out. Appreciate the support on the channel. Great job, says DBQB. Hey, thanks very much. StakeX says thanks, guys. Love your Hex token community. Hey, big shout out and appreciate that. Physical silver check, says Lal. Nice one. Yeah, so silver as well. Gold, silver is in there in the mix. And we're talking about having it as a percentage of your portfolio and the best portfolio offsetting hedge there. So we also talk about US and crypto stables. Obviously, that's an option and depends on when you exit the market as well. If you're going to preserve, if you think the market's still going down, then obviously getting a certain amount of your portfolio as stables. Now, I've always said on this channel, always thought that you should have at least 10% in cash. And we've talked about portfolio diversification in there as well. Now, obviously, if you want to diversify, I don't think that you want to be in everything. You want to be in assets that you think are going to perform pretty well. Typically, I often like a unicorn strategy, trying to go for the big winners. And of course, that's why we're all here in the Richard Hart ecosystem, gold standards, because we consider this the gold standard of crypto, and that this will be the big winner over time. So that's kind of where we fit there. Now, obviously, crypto stables, you're taking on a bit more risk because it's always, you either got a fiat-backed currency in crypto, or you've got, a decentralized algorithmic type of one. And we've talked about the different types that we've had in the past. You've got USDC with the fiat backing. You got others with multi-crypto asset backings. And then you've got endogenous and exogenous backed stable coins. USD Tether is not an ideal. Endogenous ones look terrible. I think the market's already been smashed many times by that model. And I think that the exogenous ones like Liquidity and Liquid Loans with LUSD, USDL are showing how strong they are, and capital in these bad times has flowed into those. So those have seemed to be working pretty well there. So those are the ones you want to know. Obviously, they've got the custodial ones got the custodial risk and the backing risk. But at least USDC's got monthly reports and seems to get some form of implied audit there. USD Tether, of course, doesn't have that confidence in it. Then we've obviously got financial shorts, so you can take shorts into markets, basically like ETFs, and short the market, and typically take a 30-year position and do 3x shorts on that. That has their own risk issues with it, but there are definitely some things you can do in the fourth one there. Other options, of course, may include essential commodities and things like that. And of course, if you think oil's never coming down because of the way it's set up, then oil could be definitely a good play. And of course, a lot of people have picked up a lot of oil and actually killing it because everyone else is paying for it at the pump, right? So that's definitely an option as well. So there's just some things in there at the moment. So some of the leading ones we typically look at. So get into the poll there and fill it out. So that's pretty much it there. But it's good to have a diversification in portfolio, particularly in the good times as well. And this, if you're first time you've been through a bear market or a bull market, then take the lessons from it and learn from it, and look accordingly. Do plenty of research as well. Study investments, because it really will pay off for you. big time. So yeah, now we're expecting some of the markets to get under challenged coming up, particularly if the recession fears start to accelerate. You're looking at, obviously, the stock market always gets hit pretty fast. Crypto market generally too. Obviously, you got to find within those two classes of assets, you got to find the real good ones. And of course, that's where we feel, despite the pullback, cyclical pullback at the moment, that we're in the right, the best of those. The secondary thing, of course, is we're looking at the property market is a big target. And of course, paying with the interest rate rises, that's really going to hammer that. Also hammer capital investments as well, and manufacturing and businesses is the other one there. We're also seeing some unusual things happening as well. In addition to all these normal things we expect, we're seeing a food scarcity and price inflation on a lot of food scarcity. That's a big problem. And something special that we're all going to keep looking at there too. It's not a joke too. We could see some particular, supply shortages. We could even get to the point of rationing of certain products as well. Certainly is a big issue there. Obviously, depending on which country you are, will have the biggest impact or not. I think probably the US is probably relatively insulated, although they'll still get impacted by it to some degree, depending on the commodity. They're insulated more on other things than others, whereas other parts of the world, Middle East, Africa and places are very vulnerable to food issues there, particularly primary foods like wheat and so forth. So keep watching out for that, depending on where you are. You might want to stock up on a few baked bean cans just to make sure that you got that covered. Cat Figure's in the house there with the big strong arms. Hey, good to see Cat Figure. If Bob Flish can say hi, all Superman pumping out the videos during the bear market. Thank you. Hey, it's a pleasure, man. Pleasure, absolutely. Blobfish King. Hit smash the like button, says Sandra. Absolutely. Nice one. Put a Lambo badge on it. Yeah. Constantine says, I don't like the team mystery box. Change my mind, please. Are you talking about for mystery box? You're talking about for Maximus? I think that's Maximus, isn't it? Yeah. Is that Maximus? I think that's Maximus. Yeah, I've forgotten now. K Figure says, I actually like my Hyundai Genesis. I bought a Lambo watched instead. It was a lot cheaper, says K Figure. That's funny. It's probably more reliable than a Lambo, I would say, and more practical. Nice watch. I've seen those Tonia Lambo watches. Beautiful. Nice. All right, so cool. Get in there and vote, folks. Appreciate that. We've got the market at the moment. We've got a little mini pump, though, on Hex, so we'll take that. We had BT's had this weird pump today. And then, of course, I'm sure if you followed some of the BTC followers, they might have some theories on that. Maybe some stuff went to an exchange, some US dollars went to a particular exchange, and they pumped it up or something. Who knows? Maybe it's part of this recollateralization going on in the markets as well. And if you didn't see it, I just posted a video on Celsius earlier, so check that out. That's a short video, about a minute and a half. I'm going to do a few more of those sort of power crypto videos, so stay tuned for that as well. So yeah, looking not too bad on the green day there. Let's see if we can build another green candle tomorrow. And of course, we haven't closed today out yet, because yesterday was a green candle too, and it ended up closing out red. And so we'll see how that gets on. We've got at the moment just under 3.8 cents. We did get as high as almost 4 cents, man. We got so close to 4 cents on this here with the hourly. There's the hourly candle on X. On the Hedron on the right here, we're at 5.64, so up just slightly. A little bit of a green day there. Reminds me of the band Green Day, doesn't it? Maxi there at 6.9 cents, and we'll have a look at the premium on Maxi. Let's see where that's at the stage. 81%. So that's actually down a little bit, actually, because that was up. What was that up 84? 83. Yeah, something like 83% there. That's just down a tad. Just sitting on there, fighting to break out into that new premium range. And then finally, we've got Pulse Dodge Coin, which was doing not too bad. It's had a high today of $2.49, and it's currently at $2.30. So just a little bit of a pullback there. We have to turn our plane into red now and spin that plane around a little bit there. That's kind of where it is. So Gunther likes to fly up and down. He's going to paint these, Bob. What was that guy's name? Bob, the painter. Okay, I had it this morning. I've forgotten his name now. He's going to do the painting. You know, Bob, what's the famous painter? I'm not even sure what decade that guy's from, but he seems to be all over the place. Let me know in the chat if you remember. CJ punching out. Hey, CJ. Lau says, I think my Lambo is going to be a Ferrari 360 lol. Yeah. Hey, like I said, they're pretty powerful, those cars. Even to buy one, you got to be able to drive the thing. I guess unless you just want it to look good out the front of the yard there. Yes, I was lucky, got my 18,000K watch at an auction for $250 years ago, but hardly ever wear it. Nice. So it's a bit of a collector's item now. We'll go with the premium. Bob Ross, that's thanks, Tufon. And Lau got it too. Bob Ross, that's who I was thinking of. I said it this morning, but just forgot the last name there. Bob Ross, yeah. Gunther was talking about painting candles like Bob Ross. He posted this picture of the big pullback and he said, watch this, it's going to play out. So we'll keep watching. It's certainly fun to watch. Now, I have checked a lot of the new stuff. We've got not really any news since we did our first live stream. We sort of covered it in the first live stream on all the leading projects that we've been covering. And of course, we've got the markets generally doing okay. Ethereum there, 1057, and BNB there. Isn't it funny being down at 1,000 and we were up over 4,000? Isn't that funny? It's just like, what is value, right? Comes back to that fundamental, what is value? And of course, BTC at 19477 there. It's pretty crazy when you think about it. It really is. And if you haven't gotten to Discord, don't forget to jump in the Discord there. Links in the video description as well. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button as well if you're new to the Hex Token channel. 2 live streams a day. That's what we're rolling now. All right, so let's go down to the bottom here. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do the price here. Let's see if we add in. Let's say we add in 7 million. 1, 2, 3. I just realized I got my audio on over here. 7 million. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do 7 million market buy there. Will that get us to 10 cents? Oh, it actually gets us to 13.9. Really? Let's take that down then. Take the $5 million. $5 million. That will get us to 10 cents. Yeah, so 10 cents there. So let's go to the 48 million. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that didn't work. That's not right. Let's take that back there. 4,800. 1, 2, 3. Bam. Yeah, 10 cents there. So about 4.8 million to get us back to 10 cents. You saw it there. So back to 10 cents. And will that be back up here to 10 cents? Got a spare 4.8 million. Let's go for gold on that. Not 18,000, 18 karat gold. Okay, cool. I wish it's good figure. That's hilarious, man. That's hilarious. I thought you were bling bling. I thought you were hex flexing in the chat. There, Kate Figure. Sorry I'm late, Dave. Don't understand, but at least I made it. You did, Dave, and it's good to have you in the chat there. Welcome. I have a 22 Hyundai and a 22 Escalade. The Hyundai has a better warranty and almost as many bells and whistles. Great call for the money. Great car for the money. Just take X. Nice. Yeah. I know that the new 4-wheel drives are pretty popular, especially amongst the housewives. They love those. They drive them around all the time like a boss. They do. They're crazy with those things. Nice one, bro. Nice one. Yeah. All right. Let us pull up something here. Let's break up this awesome fun time with a little bit of action video. Let's get into that. I love this action video. Let's play Richard Hart in the big yellow truck. Now, I love this truck. I think it's badass. So we're talking about cars, so we might as well play the truck one. Here we go.
That's the biggest truck I've ever seen. What the fuck? Wow. You're driving the baddest monster truck you've ever seen in your life. Most monster trucks, they got 2 wheels in the front that turn. This one's got 4. 4 54-inch wheels turning in the front. Another 4 in the back. This is an 8-wheel monster truck. It took 5 years to build. It's got a 6.6 liter single turbo diesel engine running 25 pounds of boost with a Allison 1000 gearbox 6-speed. This is a bad bitch. If the global zombie apocalypse or pandemic is coming to rain on your parade, this here will get you out of trouble. But it's not so good for getting McDonald's. It's really hard to get around, you know. It's good for bumping your head.
So that truck is pretty badass. You got to agree. That's like, man, oh man. I wonder how many people that fits in that thing. It looked huge. Looked like a stretch limo. So probably fits a lot of people is my guess on that one. I need one of those, says James. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Hey, it's Marion. Good to see you in the house. Good vibes. Definitely good vibes there. Don't forget to get in the poll, folks. This is our discussion topic today. Besides Hex, what other hedge options do you have or will get in your financial portfolio? Pulsechain, Pulsex, gold, silver, USD, crypto stables, financial shorts, or other. Obviously, you could do all of the above, but there's a good list of hedge options there. I need one of those. I agree with you on that one. Kate Figure said, bought a 2005 Hyundai Tucson at auction about 5 years ago with over 200,000 miles on it and said goodbye to the last year. Wow, that's impressive. Engine still running strong, great reliability. Wow, that is impressive. They've really changed the engineering because I remember back in the day, those cars were quite tinny, but they managed to get that around. Ex-biker in the house said, good morning all. I mean, we all know 2.8 has pretty much got the best engines of them all, but that's pretty impressive from Hyundai. Good morning all, says Hexbiker. Epic off-road truck. Yeah, that was pretty badass. They were having a good time with that too. Do you see the smile of the camera guy, the producer or director, whatever he is? He was so smiling when the truck goes by in the river. He's like, this is awesome action. This is awesome action. He's like, that was pretty funny. X-Force 1 says, imagine that school bus picking up the kids in the morning. Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Or imagine that on, was it Pretty Woman? Pretty Woman there. That'd be, instead of coming in the limo with the flowers at the top, you could come in with that badass truck. They need to put a little window at the top. I'm not sure if it has one. That'd be pretty funny. Good morning, Hexbugger, says K-Figure. I had a 93 Hyundai Excel. Couldn't kill it. Smooth shape too. Missed that car, says James Bond. Didn't realize Hyundai's even more popular than I imagined. Hey, so 8 hours ago, the Highest of Stakes came out with this update. An Epic series is coming soon. So this is pretty cool. Let me go back to that. Actually clicked on Kinetic's one there. Epic series coming soon. That introduces each of the characters in the Highest of Stakes form, along with the producers and executive producers that made it happen. So we'll look forward to that. We'll be covering that on the channel. They've got a cool image there for all different people. It's got Kinetics there, got Rack and Michelle Overwatch, Richard Hart, of course, and a couple others there. The RG Pirate there. So cool to see some of them in the chat house there. So cool. Look forward to that. That's coming up. Highest of Stakes. I'd like to see them. They keep kicking it out there. We've got a few other people there. Clay Collins, Big Kowalski there, Big K, Brent Morrissey as well on there. So cool. The other thing, of course, is Real Kinetics there is doing another YouTube channel. I think. I don't know if he started it. So let me know in the chat if you know. But he's got Kiyosaki's going to come on as his first person there. I'm not sure if he's actually done that yet. I think that's coming up, but looking forward to that. So very, very cool. Is this the law firm here? Oh, that was the 19th, the 4th of March there. Please, everybody, like, share Busy's Finance. This is probably the first time in US history a judge has allowed someone to be served on Twitter. Yeah, I'm not sure how this has gone. I thought they only had a month to respond to this, and maybe they have responded. I'm to send an update on the law case there. You got to remember that if they could potentially if they get the claim was like $200 million or something. So I thought they were going to be in default there. Obviously, you got to get these operations in the US there, including coin market cap. So let us know in the chat if you've managed to get an update on that one, because that's the one I don't know much about where that's at this stage. That was kind of the last update there. I'm not even sure if Yuka there's got an update. Maybe Yuka does. On that, I'm not sure. So let us know in the chat if you've seen anything on that. Might follow that. File against you. There doesn't seem to be any comments on this one either, so it's not too helpful there. 13th of November, yeah. Cool. So yeah, let us know in the chat if you know much about that. All right, we're going to come back to this in a second. Let's get back into the comments. Mr. Faraj's house here from India. Good to see you, Mr. Faraj. Big heart out to you. We've got the big hearts, the Instagram hearts out there. I actually got myself in the chat. I'm not even sure. Did I disappear? Sorry about that. I forgot my camera. Hey, at least I was still in there. Hopefully you heard my audio. My upgrade to a 96 after launch. Now that's a magic school bus. Yeah, it definitely was pretty magic. Probably holds a 2x Richard Hart's or a 4x Satoshi. Yeah. All right, so let us get back in there. I can't believe I didn't add my camera back in, but this is how it rolls after that. So what we're going to talk about? We're talking about the Hex stakes coming out. We've got two big candles coming up here, to the 1st of July and the 2nd of July here, and of course it already is the 1st of July here in good old New Zealand. But there we are. Those coming out there. Let's see what happens with those. Like I said, I'm not sure if there's the origin account stuff in there or not. Typically, most of those were at the end of the year, but some of them I think may be different time frames. I can't remember. Have to have a look. Hopefully, we'll probably get some people talking about it anyway, like HexiCat or was it My Friend or whatever their name is. It gives us the updates. That's what we got there. I'm just trying to think where the accounts are here. Just it's this one here, this file. Just let me pull that up. So we got these two big candles coming out. Woo! And this third candle is not too small either, 401 million. So we've got these big front runners. Then we've got this candle on the 18th. We've got this one 263 on the 1st of August, and then this last big one here, 595 million. Now remember, this is right out to the end of this year, 2022. So we've just got these front running candles. Now many of these just keep rolling, right? They keep rolling. So it's just a matter of what some of these will end up doing. Some people would have done short stakes too in the anticipation of Pulsechain, remember, in May. So that was back in May. Obviously we're in July now, entering July. So we'll see how we get on with those. So we'll monitor those tomorrow as well. Yes, I'm not sure whether some of these, a lot of these ones, just looking at these size of these candles, they don't have the dates on these. I'm looking at the OA stakes, but they don't have the dates on them. I'd have to look at them up individually. It's a shame there's not a chart yet. I'd have to look up the OA stakes here. But they're all pretty large. Like they're over half a billion. So they're all pretty large. All these ones are either over half a billion or over 1 billion. I don't know if they're still, and I think all these ones are still in play. I'd have to double check. So maybe I'll try and do that for tomorrow. How about that? Cool. So we got that coming up. Kate Figure says, do you have a PayPal Hex token? Maybe better to help support you. So I'm sure YouTube steal a chunk. They probably do, the Kate Figure. Maybe I'll look into that. I'll look at that for sure. Bit broke right now, but would like to support you in the future. Hey, I appreciate that, Kate Figure. I'll definitely look into that. Maybe. Yeah, I'll have a look. Those stakes coming out, you should make the share rate spike up to 6-4 share. Some of these will have some long stakes in there, I'm sure. We'll just, with checking. Cool. All right. Where else are we going here? We're going to jump out of there. We're going to jump over to the markets. This is where we're at the moment. Let's have a look at the BNB coins. BNB is up 1% to 219. We will see where these are at. So the Pulse Dodge, the original, still at 0.4 of a penny there, up slightly on a slight green day. You can see that on there. Let me get rid of this comment. You can see that on a slight green there. They're still skimming along the bottom though. P33, what's it doing? 17 cents. Actually, that's a little bit better than it was, because it was sitting around here, around 15 cents. So it's actually a little bit better than it was. And finally, Internet Money has been trying to get back, and it's got this process. It's still got a higher low, so we'll see if it can build up here. It's got to get past this 1,000. I think that's probably an important line there. That might give a bit more confidence to people buying, but we'll see. 716 at the moment. 716. Cool of it, as we say. Don't forget, I'm going to have KG coming up in 2 days' time. I think 2 days' time. So that's going to be on this channel. The stakes coming out should be share rate. Lyle says, how do you tell the size of the stakes? I only saw the amount of stakes coming out. It's got the total there. You have to go in and break it down on Hex.Vision, I think. So I haven't done that for a while. So let me go to Hex.Vision. I think you think you can do it with this. I was going to use Hex.info as well as a good site to break down some of the OA addresses. Unfortunately, I've got the spreadsheet on my old computer, not on the new computer, so that's why I'm not bringing it up, because I can't transfer it that easy. It'll take a while too. It's like mucking around, so I don't want to muck around on the live stream too much. There's the Hex, there's the stake ladder there, so you can do a few little queries with the time frame and things like that. You can zoom in a bit more. You can also break down the stakes a little bit there on the staking tab. There's a staking tab there. You can get into more of a deep dive there. You can also use other sites like hex.info, I think. And useful links here, all the way up the top at Hex. Where is it? Some of these sites here, Hex Info, I think is pretty good for doing that, seeing stake links. And of course, we've got that other one too that we use. Where is it now? Did I still put it there? Let's go down there. I think it's the adoption one, isn't it? Hex adoptions, exporting tools. We got Stake Hex is a very good website to use to look up accounts and see what they've got. So cool. Let's have a quick look at the whale bot while we're here. Don't forget to get into the poll as well. Let's get into the poll. The poll, 42 votes so far. Besides Hex, what other hedge options do you have or will get in your financial portfolio? Pulsechain, PulseX, gold, silver, USD, US dollars, I should say, crypto stables, or financial shorts and other maybe exotic or commodities, like maybe because oil's doing well, maybe oil because you think there's going to be a constraint in oil that might do well. Cool. What else there? James Bond says 100% uptime. Hex, that's true. RX Truth engine never lies. That's right. And you get we haven't seen a lot of penalties lately, have we, though, James? And the penalties for the Truth engine, which has been a very interesting aspect of the market. You thought that people were really, really, really pessimistic that we would see even lots of penalties every single day, wouldn't we? We haven't been seeing that. That's what's I've found pretty interesting there with the old Hex payouts. So yeah, it's been quite interesting. Not to say that we're not immune to that, but you saw the staking ladder. That staking ladder is completely different from last year. It's like because we've had all the Pulsechain, the PulseX sacrifices. There's still a lot of liquid running around, but man, it's very the actual commitment seems to be a bit better. But we've seen that when the big fish shell down, it's the retail. I mean, there have been bigger buyers. Don't get me wrong. But we've seen the retail really come in to fill the gap there. What else? This last 24 hours. I don't think I looked at this earlier today, so we're going to have a quick look here. Not much action on here. What have we got there? No, not much action there. 630,000 in stake. How many days? 1,000 days, and they in stake 789. Interesting, eh? So this is kind of sort of action I expected to see more of, but we haven't really seen a lot of that. And then we saw 7.3 million bought 3 hours ago for 286. I'm not sure if this is a trader or not, so let's go in and see whether your friend's in here, has a total of 7.3 million liquid Hex now after purchase. No stakes. This kind friend deposited 265 ETH from Kraken. Good old Kraken. Sent this Hex into his wallet there. It has no Ethereum in it. He used a Gnosis safe to do the transaction. I think this is a relation to Staker app, ? So that there is the site there. Of course, we talked about that in our useful links. What else we got there? So yeah, just liquid Hex there. Cool VIP, as we say. So we always appreciate that. Either Hexicat or your friend Somni's in there with those numbers. Not sure if that's how they do that, but almost looks pretty cool. Fake out. Hex gonna dump 10 cents, says Chris Baker. No way, Chris. No way. Future multi-millionaire, says Charles. Yeah, that's more the attitude. Don't fight the Fed, says JT. Don't fight the Fed. J-Lo's happy. J-Lo loves Hex. J-Lo loves Hex. We should get that out trending, eh? J-Lo loves Hex. That's a Hexicat's out there. Hexicat's in there, so that's pretty hilarious. So that's really the only action over the last 24 hours is one buy. That's better, eh? Better than seeing all those sells and stuff. So not too bad. Not too bad at all. All right, feel the pump. Feel the pump. All right, let's zoom back out of there. BTC at 19,400, ETH at 1055, BNB at 219. And here we are with our markets. Let's get back to the Hex ones. Hex at almost 3.8 and went to almost 4 cents actually. Went pretty close to 4 cents. And of course, we've still got our trend reversal still in play. hanging on just over 0.2 of a penny at this stage, but it's a long draw, but we did see a long draw back here. We had a pretty long draw. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 days. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. So one would for this to really hold up, we would need green candles from now on, pretty much from basically what I'm looking at here. We'd need green candles for that to play up. So cool. Let us see. All right. Nice. All right, we're going to pull that up there, have all the charts in view. That is on the daily, and what's that on the daily too? So they're all on the daily except for Hex is on the hourly there. Lau says, amazing resources. Thanks, Superman. It's a pleasure, Lau. I've got lots more to add to that. And once I do that, I'm going to reorganize that too. Nat Allen said, staking saves you from yourself and third-party risk of yourself doing anything silly, says James Bond. Yeah, that's true. That is true. But what we're also seeing is that, we still, even with the awesomeness of the Hex contract, with the share rate, which is a really special thing in the Hex contract, we still need supply and demand. We still need good liquidity play as well. So those still need to be happening. But what we're seeing, as I say, we're seeing some really good innovation on the second layer, eating up that circulating supply. So that's the real golden source there. And of course, that is also encouraging further buying on Hex, and of course staking that out pretty much on either cyclical staking or 15-year staking. That's pretty awesome. And also, I'd like to hear about the Hex Investment Trust too, see how that's going in terms of their goal. I mean, they want to get $10 million. They have to get, I think, 50 people, 55 people, one of those two numbers, to go public and go through the SEC process, which could take 6 to 9 months to get that public process after they've met their private goals. And of course, that would be tradable, unit trust tradable there on, say, NASDAQ or something. So we're looking forward to that. Let us know in the chat if you've seen Kinetics talk about anything like that. I haven't seen anything myself, although I probably have missed a few little snippets from him recently. So let us know. Cool. What was that I played? I don't even know what I played there. Oh, yeah, no. All right, cool. All right, so let's pull up. They're coming up to 52 minutes, which is not bad at all. Let us get a little bit of inspiration there again from good old Richard Hart. We're going to play our helicopter one this time. It's always nice to have a little break, isn't it? So let's get into it.
Craziest part of the helicopter is when he does his turns and you're like hard to the right, hard to the left. Just, I don't know, maybe he thinks it's more fun than just kind of like going like that. You can tell how far up we are because the trucks that move all of the land and the earth around doing mining and stuff, they look like little Tonka toys. They're like little yellow dots. When the engine stops, you die straight.
Pilot has a heart attack. Who's jumping in the seat, me or you?
You, because you're closer. And you've flown an airplane before, so it's you. True. I'll complain though, from my side. From my side, I'll be complaining.
Watch that mountain.
So I'm back. I remember to add the camera back in. Isn't that cool? All right, so sweet. Kate Figures in there. It says, I wish there was a way to force Hex buyers to stake Hex as it was meant to be done. Then we wouldn't be seeing the new dumps and lowering the prices often. That's true, but well, as I said, we are seeing a second layer innovation that we didn't expect to see earlier in the piece. Obviously, people had talked about it a lot for a long time, those options, but no one had really done it. And now we've seen a flurry of these coming in, taking out that circulating supply of the market. And of course, we've got HSI stakes, first of all, with Hedge. Now we've got ICOSA being built on there for staking Hedge. And of course, that follows back through down to Hex as well. And of course, with burning too, with Hedge. The next thing, of course, we've also got, as I say, Maximus did the maxi to 294.3 million Hex. That was a bigger chunk of circulating supply. And that's after we already had Pulsechain and Pulsechain I think that from memory, that was over 5 billion Hex. So you see what I mean? It's really starting to eat it up there. This is a multi-year process. Could take 5 years to really eat up a lot of the circulating supply. And of course, inflation is low too. So the inflation mechanics there, staking defers inflation and inflation. And of course, the origin account gets 50% of the penalties. In other words, all these people every single day that get penalized, and we've seen over 3 billion Hex there. I think it's 3.2 billion or something that's getting penalized, and that takes inflation. It means effective inflation is really low. So we actually had quite a low inflation asset if you think about it. And of course, over time we still need to grow, still need to distribute Hex amongst the different people. So that's pretty cool like that. We also obviously got Power City Flex coming up as well, and I no doubt we're going to get more projects coming to the space. And I think I've said I wouldn't be surprised if we have 10 projects by next year, in the middle of next year, doing this sort of stuff because it's been proven to be successful in the the gamification tokenomics. As looks like it's got better and better and better. And I would say that Maximus is definitely leading the innovation front on there, and I think Power City pretty good too. So it's boding well. Kinetics can't talk about it. Yeah, the Hex Investment Trust. If you're wondering what we're talking about, maybe you haven't seen that, we're talking about the Hex Investment Trust here. This is in addition to all those second layer projects. And this is slightly different because it's not within crypto as such. It's trying to bridge the fiat world into crypto. So that's a really big deal. So that's what we're talking about there. But Kinetics can't talk about a lot of it. So that's probably true. He did say when they go public, he'll be able to do disclosures like let us know the public address. I'm sure maybe some people already know what that is, but that's definitely an option. All right, so we've got 48 votes. Let's see if we can get 50 votes. We'll close the poll on 50 votes. We've got, besides Hex, what other hedge options do you have or will get in your financial portfolio? Obviously, you could do all above, but we don't have the option on there. Pulsechain, Pulsex, gold, silver, USDC, crypto stables, financial shorts. This is kind of what you prefer, really, there. Cool. What else there? I reckon it's the OGs that have millions of Hex to play with. They are still making massive profits after they bought in at the 0001. Yeah. Not at all Pulse I've been in since 2019. My stakes go out 5. I keep restaking principal. I think I'm going to end stake early? Yeah. So what I would say is that we have different types of, like I guess we call them OGs or large holders. I generally move to the term large holders because we've got, we're already over 2.5 years old now, so we've got a lot of people coming in at different times. So large holders, a lot of them are staked. We've got people like Kareem the Dream out there with the maxi stake strategy. We've got a lot of large holders out there with staking ladder strategy like Hodl Dog, people like that. So there's also different types of players out there. Kate Fergus says it's the liquid holders dumping, not the OGs. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I would agree with that. So we get people playing the short game. And of course, we get people rolling stakes, and of course they're getting diluted with the share rate, particularly if they're scraping their interest off the pool. So we get that too. You just got to get through those phases. The good thing is we have the share rate, which adjusts for that, right? So it adjusts over time, on average over time. So that takes multi-years to play out there. But we're already seeing it in the staking ladders, right? So the staking ladders are way smaller than they used to be. And those front wave staking slowly breaking up over time. As well, but like I say, even with all that said, we still need supply and demand growth there. So supply growth in terms of the innovation on second layer products, which we're seeing with all those projects that I talked about, and of course buying with spreading the word, getting new people into the ecosystem. And now we've seen a lot of multi-generational people, grandchildren, children getting their accounts, putting their up 15 years, because their T shares will be a big deal in the future as people only be able to get B shares eventually. As time goes on. So that's the expectation. So cool. We got the Hex Investment Trust is also obviously trying to gateway the institutional money, a bit like Grayscale Bitcoin. And that will probably, if they follow the trajectory of that, they're also looking into Hex ETFs. Could you believe it? Just like Bitcoin, Grayscale Bitcoin's trying to do, moving into the ETFs. Obviously, they got denied today. If you didn't see, I think today or yesterday. By the SEC, but I'm sure they'll keep pushing that forward. Looks like they're going to actually try and sue the SEC on that point, and I can't see a reason why they can't do that. I think it's a bit of a bias in the SEC there, especially with the market pullback at the moment. So the timing's probably not the best from that point of view. Probably good for Grayscale, but not so good for the SEC's point of view. As I say, the crypto market's very small. Think about the crypto market's like it's not even $1 trillion at the moment. Even at $3 trillion, it's still small on the market, the world's market. So it's kind of irrational if you think about a lot of the stuff there. It gets a lot of attention because of the Bitcoin branding and crypto generally. I talked to someone today, and they didn't even, they said, "Oh, I can't get my head around crypto." They said to me. I'm like, "Oh, okay," and they said, "Yeah, just can't get my head around it." So there's a lot of people out there like that, and I think it's true with the regulators as well. So if you've dealt with regulators like I have in the past directly, you know that they live in a small bubble, and they also have a lot of political interference and influences as well. So it's a tricky space to be in. But it makes you laugh sometimes. I've been to the meetings with regulators, and I laugh at their knowledge. I just laugh and go, "Oh my God, really? What bubble are you in?" And they are in bubbles, they're in little bubbles. But sometimes you come across a really good thinker that can think outside the box there, and that's always a relief when you have that happen. All right, cool. We've also we've got the Hedge Investment Trust, but I did talk about the fact that we have Rack and Rochelle in the house there doing some pretty cool stuff. And I don't want to underplay this because I think that's pretty awesome there. Besides eating great food and fishing, he's also doing what we talked about with this exchange the other day, Overwatch partners and blockchains. And it looks like it's coming on the Pulsechain network exchange, which we know that means that opens up access to fiat gateways. We know that Richard's had troubles getting his exchange license in Spain. Last time I heard an update from him. And so, they're looking at fiat gateway here. Obviously, reckons probably being able to open up certain doors as well, has particular relationships. His ambition, remember, is to be one of the top venture capital firms in the world. So he's not playing mucking around. He also knows that crypto is one of the fastest, easiest ways to do that, particularly if you're doing a system state full fork of Ethereum. So he's playing the big game here. And of course, this is an easy way to value up as well. And so, look, this exchange here, integrated blockchain legacy bridge exchange. Come on, this is going to be a lot of cool stock and cryptocurrency trading platform. That's awesome. I'd be signing up to this straight away. That's really, really cool. And I'm not into decentralized exchange, but this here would meet a need of mine with the stock crypto hybrid, right? Because I'm into decentralization. But this is definitely something that I'll use. And of course, if this has got heaps of all these Pulsechain peers in it, it's going to be fascinating. Now, someone asked whether it's got other peers there. I can't actually see on here what they've got on there. I've got GUSD on there at the moment, and I can see the ticker there, GUSD. Enhancing blockchain, combating fraud, and a greener blockchain there. It's a little bit of branding stuff there on that one. They also got this EB control as well, from looks like government level security for everybody, which is pretty timely as well, because we know how many scams and fraudulent things are out there trying to hack everybody. So that looks like pretty good too. So nice there. It's an exchange and encrypted comms there. And of course, I think it's going to be looking at building other stuff too, all around this ecosystem. So we've got lots of coming, man. We've got lots coming. Just got to bide the time there. As I say, there's lots of coming. And of course, we just did our video the other, was it 2 days ago? Over 100 Pulsechain projects native to Pulsechain being built on. Obviously, of varying quality, of course. We must always disclaim to that. But man, what's coming up in the future? What is coming up in the future that's in addition to all that we're saying? We talked about over 100 projects. In 3 months' time, we're going to have 300 projects. There's so many Solidity devs out there creating. They're getting, hearing about it. Other devs are talking to other devs, and they're going, "Oh, really? Can you do that? Yeah, do this. I do this idea. Yeah, do this idea. You want to partner with me? Yeah, I'll partner with you." Before you know it, they've got a concept up that they want to put into the market on Pulsechain. It's going to be pretty cool. You just never know, too. We might actually get a killer dApp on Pulsechain as well. Something that's never been seen before that really does do amazing stuff there. Coming to mind would be one of them possibly around insurance, disintermediation of the banking system. And insurance seems like an obvious one to me that it could be expanded in crypto quite awesomely. But there's lots of other things, taking together, synthesizing a lot of other solutions in the real hard markets and bring those onto the blockchain. So it's going to be fascinating to see that play out over the next 12, 18 months. So not only does when Pulsechain launches, we're looking forward to that, but all the stuff that's going to get built around it. Like you saw a lot of the big platforms that were around Terra Luna, and of course, the size of that ecosystem, and they're all supported, right? When Terra Luna want to get Terra Luna 2.0, they're all jumping on the bandwagon. Yeah, we support you. We support you. Of course they do, because they're all, it's existential survival. But that's the kind of support that they've had. I did see that they're trending at the moment on Twitter. I didn't actually check it out, but they're trending on there. And Stevie D says, I made it back. We had the Hex meetup this afternoon. Stevie D says, nice. Was so great catching up with good folks and with like-minded beliefs. Nice one, Stevie D. You got to do tell. I guess you did. It was cool seeing legends streamers like Valiant Brand, hashtag jealous Stevie D, RH Max, and Fashion Coda. Wow, Superman, hope you can join us here in Seattle one day. Woo! Nice one. Hey, was Jim Rat Crypto there? Jim Rat Crypto, he would be. I'm teasing there a little bit there, but if you guys know what I'm laughing about, you just guys let me know in the chat. Kate Ferguson in the house there. Good to hear, Stevie D. Happy to hear you and Brandon had a nice time. Yeah, that's cool. That is really special there. And good old Seattle. Sleepless in Seattle. Well, Steve wasn't too sleepless in Seattle there. Sounds like you had a good time for sure. Nice. All right, so we've got Hex on a green candle. Hex token channel pump. Do I include that? Can I claim that or not? It's a bit foolish, but this is the way we go. All right, we've got 53 votes. I said I was going to close it at 50, so let's end the poll. And let's get into Stevie D says, no Jim Rat Crypto there, lol, says Stevie D. All right, besides Hex, what other hedge options do you have or will get in your financial portfolio? Pulsechain, Pulsex, 81%. Yes, you guys are hardcore. And of course, USD stables, 9%. Very cool. Good to see that number there. I always do say that stablecoins, a percentage of your portfolio is always good to have, maybe around 10%, because if markets pull back dramatically, you've got stablecoins you can go buy up cheap assets. Obviously, it also protects the level of valuation that you have in your portfolio by having stables, because it doesn't change in value, because that is what we measure it in. So that's really cool. Gold, silver, 7%. So nice to see a bit of play on that. I do think it's important. I know that we talk about performing assets relatively and speaking like that, but when we come into these volatile bearish times, then having a bit of gold and silver is a wise decision. Financial shorts, others 1%. So some people and other stuff there. That's pretty cool. Be neat to find out exactly what sort of stuff you're doing in that space as well. So cool, nice poll. Stevie says not sleepy. I'm back at work, says Stevie D. Nice. I had a stake in last night, says Cape Figure, at 8 p.m. and I can promise all of you I'll be restaking the full amount later today. It makes no sense to cash out any of my interest, let alone principal at these prices, says Cape Figure. There we are. Well, we are seeing a pretty low penalties, and we're going to pull it up actually. Let's pull that up here, because we're seeing pretty low penalties on the Hex Daily stats, and this has been one of the interesting factors at the moment. I find this very a bullish factor. If we're going to look for bullish factors, is that previously we would have had some pretty high numbers here. Let me go back. Here a little bit here. 50 days ago, we were getting days 6.3, 6.69, 6.2. 6.3. They're kind of a bit of penalties in those. You can see 6.3, 6.3, 40 days, 6.4, 6.2. And even before that, we're getting even bigger ones than that. But 6.2, these have all been pretty good. The last 30 days, these are all relatively low. I mean, 6.2 was on a little higher side. 6.2 there, 6.7, they're all pretty high. But we've been actually getting down pretty low, especially the last 10 days. Look at this. 6.1, 6.1, 6.3 there, but 6.1, 6.18, 6.16. I mean, all pretty low there. And that bodes pretty well, right? I think that's a pretty good sign that people are keeping their responsibilities. The truth engine is working, but actually people's sentiment is like, the price is, fairly low, fairly committed. I'm earning the Hex every day. And of course, they're not in staking. So we can see the last 10 days, like we only had 2 days of pretty decent stuff there, and some of that, quite a bit of the stuff's been good accounting stuff of late too. 2 days we had that one big day, 12.9. The last 10 days have been pretty interesting there, as you can see. So some cool stuff. Yeah, the last 10 days probably the most significant there out of that. And nice, very nice. What else there? No Jim Rat Crypto lol. Yeah, I'm still laughing about that one. That was pretty funny. Katie in the house with the bread and ducks. Yeah, with the bread and ducks. Hey, Hex is the way. I don't know if Hex is the way out there, but we're supposed to be doing a collab together sometime. And that's a big shout out to Hex is the way. Hopefully that will happen in due course. Going to try and do a few collabs coming up. We've certainly got KG from Internet Money coming up. I'm excited about that. We're going to get the latest and greatest on that. Obviously leading the way there with a profit sharing wallet on Pulsechain. Can you believe it? That's awesome. Obviously, we're expecting the Heart wallet to do something similar, but we will see. They're already, I don't know. Richard said he's got 1 or 2 devs on that, hasn't he? So we'll see, because Internet Money's got like, I think did he say 9 devs or 8 devs? It's a pretty big team in there. So yeah, looking forward to that. All right, how are we doing for time? Let's see what time it is here. It is 6:41 in the evening here, Friday night, 1st of July. And we're coming up on 10 minutes there. So we're going to wrap up in probably another 4 minutes. That'll be an hour and a quarter on the live stream, which is not too bad. We'll see how the prices are going, that's for sure. Let's pull in a video break from Richard Hart talking about Pulsechain devs coming up here. We'll play these 2 of my favorite.
So there is no such thing as perfect security. Perfect security, you have a ratio between the amount of effort you put into being secure and the amount of effort that people are using to attack you. And then you have what's called attack surface. The more places that you have to secure, the less secure a thing is. Hex was more easy to secure than a lot of things because it has a limited number of functions, and most of those functions timed out. So for instance, if there was a flaw in the referral program, that doesn't exist anymore. So it doesn't matter. If there was a flaw in the adoption amplifier, it doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't matter. And so by restricting the number of functions and making the code immutable so that it can never change, it allowed us to be extremely secure, which is why we've never had an inflation bug. We're extremely resistant to inflation bugs, but Bitcoin's had several inflation bugs. Monero's had an inflation bug. XLM's had an inflation bug. Ravencoin's had an inflation bug. Coins have inflation bugs, which basically means you can mint as many free coins as you want all the time, but my coin doesn't. It's a superior design. Now, Pulsechain, we're using the most secure software that's out there already, which is Ethereum. It's never had an inflation bug. And we're fixing a lot of things. The code that is Ethereum isn't perfect, and we're making it better than what we got.
So cool. I love that. Very inspiring from Richard Hart there. Really cool. Very cool. All right. 3.8 cents on Hex, 5.63 on Hedge, and of course Maxi sitting at 6.9 cents and $2.29 on Pulse Dodge. Will we see over the next day, over the night here, my time, will we see a move up higher? That's what we'll be looking for. And another green day in a row to keep this intact here. Will this be an unusual short-lived opportunity that never actually happened, which is typically unusual, but not impossible there as well. So if we go back further in time, there's not really any good, not quite any good examples there, but we will see. At this stage, it's still intact at the moment. For the trend reversal I'm talking about, yeah. Bottom is not on yet. We're not out of the ballpark of that at all at the moment. While BTC's up here, that's not in play. Certainly while we're in this volatile sentiment. We'll see whether the mid-July is the time frame there. We saw that earlier on the BTC chart there, that we reasonably existing there. I think we talked about it back here. We could reasonably go to the middle of July there. We've got the interest rate review there from the Fed. So if they do a 7.75%, the market knows, it's kind of aware of this, but when it gets pulled in, they go, oh, well, the Fed's pretty hawkish, so get a bit nervous about that. I think they have started reducing their bond purchases, so they're probably reducing the monetary supply as well. So see. Okay, Figure says, Burrow going to end stake and restake it now. Lol, anyone that thinks OGs are dumb and says Cape Figure, nice. Well done, man. Well done. That's all we can say to you is well done. All right, we're going to bring in our music. We're just coming up to an hour and a quarter. Hope you guys have enjoyed this one. And Hex is looking not too bad there today, at least for today. We're going to pull in our Power City teaser. Hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Catch me tomorrow for 2 more, of course, Pulsechain, Pulsex, and Hex twice a day. And of course, I'm doing these little short power videos as well, so hopefully they'll be fun So cool. All the best there, Kate Figure, with the old restake of Hex. We like that. That is a Hexkin right there, folks. All right, so let's play this out. Here we go. Enjoy yourself. My horse is ready. All right, bye for now. Take care. See you tomorrow. Woohoo! Rock on, as we always say, rock on.